all been thinking, why don't he ride? Well, it's been a long road. So I decided today I'm going to sit down and do a Forgeside chat with you guys. It's been a long time. I think it's been like since November, early December since the last one. This is going to be a long video, I think. So if you're here to see me make something, you aren't going to see it. If you're here to see a rough and gruff blacksmith, tough and mean, you might see a blacksmith cry during this session. I don't know for sure. So just go ahead, click on the ad first, and then go on to another video. But for those of you that are here for the story, man, all right. The last time we talked, I don't know. I think it was November. I don't remember for sure. It was late in the season, and I had told you that I lost my partner, and I was not sure which direction or not sure what the hell was going to happen. Well, I'll tell you right now, it's been an unbelievably difficult road over the last several months. So let's say that was December, early December. It's now April 4th or 5th, which we just got like, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches of snow. It's freaking cold in here again. Actually, winter's been kind to me, very, very kind to me this winter. We haven't had a lot of snow. It's been cold, but not horrible. Certainly better than sitting out in the driveway like it was last year or the year before. I forgot where I was going, but it's April 4th now, so Jesus, that's 5-6 months since you guys have heard from me in a Forgeside chat. I'll give you the story. I don't want to sound too much like a wuss or some other words like that, but losing the partner in the business was very difficult. Losing a partner in life, I mean, she's not dead, she's just gone. Losing it was easy. I'll tell you, straight up, I sunk into some pretty deep depression. I was gone. I won't lie to you, I'll be frank with you, because a lot of you guys are here for the story. I spent a lot of time, I spent a couple of months wondering if maybe I'm done. That's how far I went. And it's a pretty scary place to be when you reflect on your life and think, I think I've done enough. I've done a lot in this life, that's for sure. I've done lots of different things. I've done well at a lot of different things. I've done badly at a lot of different things. And if it wasn't for having kids, quite honestly, yeah, it was some pretty tricky times. And quite honestly, I'm not over it all right now. I think the biggest thing was I had this vision. I'm 48. I'll be 49 in July. And like I said, I mean, you guys don't know the whole story, but there's been a hell of a lot of roads, different paths, a lot of shit that's come down my way through these years, and some of it I've caused, and some of it is just freaking bad luck. But I got, quite honestly, I got to the point where I said I'd done enough. I've done a lot of good in this world. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of kids and scouts and school, and in addition to my own kids, I've experienced a lot of things, all that kind of stuff. But I had a plan. It's like, okay, this is now Chandler's time. I'm going to start focusing on something for my future, which at that point in time included a partner. And I had this dream, and that's the term I use an awful lot in life right now. I had this dream. I had a purpose. And the purpose wasn't to blacksmith. The purpose wasn't, blacksmithing was a platform that allowed me to do that. I decided when I lost my job to try this full time because, number one, I'm sick and tired of this freaking country shipping stuff out, jobs, buying stuff from outside of the country. And no offense to other countries, but it's not ours, right? And that was probably the primary principle as to why I chose this particular path. But also, I knew that, wherever I put the shop, if I ever needed to pick up and move on to the next chapter in life, it was just one truck, and I could load everything up and set up with, wherever I ended up going, set up within hours, within days, be up and running, producing things, selling things, not looking for a new job, that kind of thing. So it was, there's a lot of planning that went into it. I knew, and this is probably the biggest impact to a lot of you guys, I knew that I didn't have the mental capacity. I won't say capacity. discipline to handle the business side of things, scheduling the shows, the tracking the orders, the correspondence, the listing of the products, the business side of town. And that's why I had a partner. That's why I would have never even thought about taking this venture without that support. And that is probably the biggest impact that I haven't ironed out yet, quite honestly. And some of you guys, I mean, a lot of you guys are waiting for me to get back to you. I'm an asshole. I accept it. But I had to do what I had to do. All right, I'm still here. I mean, if it doesn't help you guys, but it's a hell of an achievement that I'm actually sitting here talking to you, and you have no idea how. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that I'm here talking to you, quite honestly. To not have that, I forget where I was going with it, but I haven't checked email since I haven't checked email since like November or December. I've been posting some videos as I get things done, and I don't think I've replied to more than 5 comments. I read all of your comments. As a matter of fact, there's so many now. It's impossible for me to keep up with it, especially where I am mentally. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. It means a lot, and there's so many things that I'd like to share in the comments, but just again, mentally, I'm just not 100% where I need to be, and I'm just if I try to carry the guilt of not doing everything right, I wouldn't be here. Let me tell you the story. So December or so, sometime in late December, things were getting pretty shitty in my world, in my mind. They were getting pretty shitty. So I decided at that point in time that I was not going to produce anymore. I was not going to try to run the business. I was not going to. I didn't have a purpose. Right? I talked about purpose earlier, and I still don't. Quite honestly, I mean, I don't. Everything that I had planned for my future is totally gone, and and even now I don't have a plan. I don't have a goal. I want to be here. I want to do this. I want to go. It just doesn't exist, and I'm okay with that now. And that was one of the milestones that I got past. But late December, when I knew stuff was getting really, really scary mentally for me, I said, you know what? That's it. I'm not gonna worry about the purpose. It was getting cold. There were some things in the shop that I wanted to get done. I needed to get the shop insulated. I needed to get heat in the shop, and I'll show you that I did that. I had a plan to make a wood shop area to add a little more space and to get the wood shop set up, and that took a long time to do, and I have that. It's not total, but it's producing now. And then I'm in the office right now. This office was almost packed to the ceiling with boxes and crap, and my purpose was to take a part of the office, which I'll show you, and turn it into a retail areas, because I during the summer especially, I had people coming in to see what's going on, and I've sold a lot of stuff out of here, so I wanted retail space. Here comes a train. I said something about a giveaway in one of my videos. Every time a train goes by, I might have a giveaway, and I think I'll do that. I'm not ready yet, so don't be making me feel any worse than I am. But I like that idea, because every once in a while I'll be videotaping and this darn thing will come by. Maybe I'll show it to you if he goes by. But I wasn't trying to move forward. I set just these simple goals, so that way I don't need a life purpose to achieve those. The shop needed to be insulated and heated. I needed to get the wood shop done, and I needed the office space cleaned up. And even if I wasn't around after that, they're little achievable milestones, and that's what I've been up to this time. All right, let me interrupt myself. We'll see if we can get you out there. You can see the train go by here in a second. There she goes. Right out my back windows. I mean, it ain't about 100 feet away. I don't even think it's that. It's probably 50 feet away. Anyway, there he goes. I'll stop until it's done and I'll come back. This should be a giveaway every time the horn blows, huh? Where I was. I don't remember where I was. It was somewhere. So, yeah, I remember now. My objective, as much as it I don't even know how to put it. I'm a failure. I failed at the end of the year. I failed because I didn't provide the orders that I needed to provide, and I'm sorry for that. I truly am, and I'm not even sure what to tell you right now. Now there's a couple of, geez, I keep hitting that thing. Sorry. There's a couple of orders where people sent me. I have some horseshoes from Norway. If you're watching, I will get back to you soon, and you will get that product because you sent me material. I think somebody sent me a railroad spike that they want done. If you sent me something, those things will be done. I guarantee it. As for all the other orders, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I honestly am not. I will produce those products. The question is, am I going to produce them as an order? I'm working it out, and I apologize. And maybe I'm an asshole, and I don't mean to be. All right. I knew getting into this that I did not have the what's the word that I use? I like that, the discipline mentally for that kind of stuff. It's, it was just one person. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make all this stuff and control everything, and it's one person. And maybe maybe I'm wimp, but I'm also, it's been a long friggin' road, guys, and I mean not just this story, but the whole story. I don't know. Here I go hemming and hawing again. I'll move on. Let me just cut to the chase. I don't want to be crazy about it. Obviously, I'm still not 100% out of this hole. The hole's has a total different perspective right now. Like I said, quite frankly, if I didn't have kids, there might be an auctioneer. Might be an auctioneer anyway, probably pretty soon. I'll tell you, one of the biggest impacts is that my middle guy just went down to boot camp for the Marines. I need to make sure that he gets through something before it's not an option anymore because of that and several other reasons. So, back to the story. To give myself some freedom mentally, I wasn't worried about product, I wasn't worried about orders. If that makes me an asshole, I'm sorry, but that's what I had to do. I will show you here in a little bit the shop. I have done so much work in the last few months. In the last couple of months, quite honestly. Back to this story. This is no freaking joke, guys. I'm telling you. And some of you guys, I've had comments, lots of support, unbelievable support. I've had a lot of assholes making comments too, and I think part of this stress that I'm under and the depression that I've been going through, I've got almost no tolerance for that anymore. So some of you guys are really pissing me off with your comments, but the supporting comments are they're unbelievable. And very often it's like, somebody says, you're the reason I started blacksmithing, or I was in this dark place, and watching your videos at least takes my mind away from it. Or I was in this place and watching your videos and you inspired me to try this, and now I at least have something. I have a purpose. And there's a couple of guys out there that use that freaking word, and that really hit home because here I am. I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is. So, see, my mind is just, I've got so much freaking going on. I don't even know what the hell what my point was. I don't remember. It's horrible. It really is. Until you go through this, I don't know, it's a breakdown of some sort. I know what I was telling you. So from December to February, easily, for those, November, December, January, I would say 3 or 4 months there. I mean, no freaking joke, guys. I couldn't stay at home. Because of that's where we had lived together, and it was too frayed up there. So I showed up for work every freaking day. I've been almost 7 days a week. I'd show up and I'd sit in a chair in the shop, literally sometimes 8 hours, just trying to figure out everything. It was unbelievable. The people I'm renting from, they're like, what the fuck's going on with this dude? It was a horrible, horrible place. So for several months, I just sat, literally. I mean, I'd try to get some work done, but my focus wasn't there. There's no purpose. There's no why. There's no satisfaction, you know what I mean? It was, and I literally spent months sitting in a chair. But it's obviously what I had to do because I'm still here. man, I don't even know if I can edit this tape and get it to something that makes sense. Back to the story. At that point, again, I said, don't worry about the business so much. Worry about my achievable micro tasks: shop, insulated and heated, wood shop, and retail. Those are done, and I knew this was coming when I made that decision at the beginning. It's like, okay, now listen, all right, fine. You can pretend everything's good and you do these little micro tasks. When it's done, what the freak are you gonna do, right? You're gonna fall right back into that depression again? Or are you going to? What are you gonna do? That's where I am right now. The tasks are done enough for me. The weather's turning. Shows are starting to pop up, and I need to start producing product for shows. I need to go ahead and turn on this computer and go back through those emails and start answering people. So I have a lot of work to do. Am I going to do it? The answer is yes. Why? From in Chandler's world, why? What's the purpose? I don't have one. It's something I gotta live, right? And at this point, I lost my job in July. It's now April, so 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, months. I haven't lived exclusively off this business. I've made a lot of money. I've worked hard and I made a lot of money. I was doing very, very well at the end of last year. Man, things were looking really, really exciting before everything hit the fan. But at this point, I've been living off of my 401k. I've been living off my pension. And this business has helped stretching, and I'll tell you what, you guys have helped. Support me on this YouTube stuff, and again, if you're watching this saying, what is this P doing on TV? Why isn't he working? Why aren't we seeing something being made? That's not what this video is about. I got plenty of those out there, and I got plenty more to come. But the YouTube money is really, really helpful. We had talked earlier about Patreon. There's a bunch of different things. I'm not there yet. I'm going to get to the emails. We got the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be given away, so that'll happen soon. I haven't lost it. The knife is sitting right over there, and I got all the emails. And like I said, I'll do a random number. We'll get that out. That'll happen hopefully, guys, within the next month. The next few weeks. I don't know. Very, very soon. It's time for this transition. Even though I don't have a personal purpose long term. We're just going to keep doing it, all right? We're going to figure out how to make this all happen. The orders that I have where you sent me materials, those will be done. All the other orders, I don't know what I'm going to do. I hope that I will get back to you guys and fulfill those orders. But from that point forward, I may not take custom orders for individual items anymore. Large commissions, I may do that, like the fire screen and those type of things. But for a knife or something like that, I'm not sure I can freaking handle the correspondence and making the product and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to make them, hopefully. My store, for those of you who have watched the Etsy store, there hasn't been a freaking product on the new store. The new store is Old School Forge. McFinley's Cabin doesn't exist anymore. Old School Forge is how I'm doing everything. My emails, Old School Forge at yahoo.com. The Etsy store is Old School Forge. That store hasn't had a single product in it since this thing went down. Maybe a loser, but like I said, I'm still here and I'm ready to move forward. As soon as this freaking weather clears up, we got even weather. I'm already depressed as it is. This weather's killing me. Am I going to make it? I'm running out of money. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think so. I think I can pull this off. I just don't know for sure yet, and I wish I did. We're gonna find out. We really are. So, personal life. I didn't cry. That's good. Business, personal. I guess there is no difference anymore. It's all, besides the kids, that's all there is. It's just get up and go to work. Whether or not you work or sit in the chair, like I did it for a few months. But yeah, it's an odd situation for me to be in because I'm not a quitter. I can't say I'm not a loser because I've lost in a lot of ways throughout my life. But I usually don't get beat. not by much. And we'll see. I have no purpose. And if you just, it might, especially for you younger guys, it may be difficult to understand that, because until you've gone through 50 years and, you know, there's a lot of shit that happens in life, and a lot of it's freaking horrible, and it's all relative. That's the thing that to keep in mind, especially you younger guys. It's all relative. Some of the things that happen to you, you know, it might seem like the most painful or most awful thing that anybody could endure, but it's all relative. There's always something worse. Except for an optimistic view, there's always something worse, and I just hope nobody experiences that. I hope things are on the uphill for all of us. All right, so enough of that. I don't know what I wanted to cover. Let's talk about what I've done in the shop since December. Heat and insulation, like I said. I picked up a TIG welder, which I'm going to do a review on. It's an eBay TIG welder. It cost me $800, and I've never TIG welded before, but I really like it. For the items where I need a weld on the finished product, even with the MIG welder, it wasn't as clean as I had hoped. Much cleaner than flux core MIG welding is. Oh my gosh, no doubt about that. But at the same time, you know, the TIG is just a really clean. With my eyesight, and I'm an old man, right? I have a hard time with the MIG welder or the flux core. I have a hard time seeing everything and the timing of the wire and where and how much material I want where and when. With the TIG, you have total control over that. You can see very, very clearly, and you can add material if you need to, or you can go ahead and just let the material flow itself. Really like that. So I added the TIG to the shop. What else have I added to the shop? I got a new blower on the Forge for the heater, the stove that I put a wood stove in, and then I put kind of an air box on top of it to capture some of that heat, and a blower to blow that in the shop, because I have such high friggin' ceilings with no insulation on the top ceilings. So I took the blower from my Forge, which is a little old squirrel cage blower. I used that on the heater, and then I picked up a Harbor Freight squirrel cage type blower. And that works really well, and I'll talk about that in a video sometime. Just to get the insulation up, get the place sealed. I mean, this thing was Swiss cheese, and every time I turn around, there was more holes. It still was pretty cold, but I got that part done. We'll take a walk over to the wood shop here in a minute, and the sawmill. If you haven't seen the video, I also bought a little band sawmill because I wanted to incorporate some steel and wood and anything to get some of the higher end products, architectural furniture, useful things like that. And then, so I bought a lot of tools for that. Now, I'll talk about those in a few seconds. I'll try to be done here, guys. It's been so long, I don't even know what to say and what not to say. All I got to say is I'm sorry. I really, really am sorry for those of you that have placed an order that I didn't fulfill. And I'm very, very, very sorry for not replying to your comments or your emails. It's just where I am, but I'm getting over the hump. It's getting close. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and look at the shop. Let me disconnect you here, or not the shop. Let's look at the office space here. Where are we? So again, for those of you that there's been a few of you that showed up and has seen the facility, or the shop, but the office is cleaned out. I got a bunch of clocks I haven't sold yet. They're up there too. They're all over the place. I finally got the desk cleared off. The computer's going, which is a good sign for the emails. But over here in the corner is what I really wanted to. Do as one of my micro tasks, and that's this retail space. So you see, it's hard to see. It's so small in here, but it's clean. And up there on the top, I have all of the bins for the shows, and down on the bottom are the tents and everything, all of the show stuff. So in reality, it's a little cluttered right now, but this space in here now is a relatively clean office space, and I can go ahead and put product out. I don't have a lot. There's the giveaway knife. My syrup. Which is, I don't know, guys. Chandler's a freaking weirdo. I like it. It turned out really nice, and that's done, and that's very, very important. Let's go to the wood shop quickly. Interrupt this a little bit. This is the shop, and it's a freaking mess. I'll tell you, with winter going on, my fan just kicked down. Let me shut that off. Well, there. Okay, I'll talk about it. So I put the wood stove in right next to the forge. I really didn't want it there, but I've outgrown my space, which is kind of odd. So got it at the scrapyard, the wood stove. It cost me quite a bit of money to get the chimney put in and up through the roof. And then this is this little heat exchange box that I have on top, and it actually. The point of the putting it there is I wasn't warming up the shop because I have all of this ceiling. I mean, it's I think 25 feet or something to that corner, 14 feet, 30 foot, I don't know. It's just a huge amount of overhead, uninsulated space. And the heat from the wood stove was just going up vertically. I tried some fans up there, as you can see, to circulate the air. It didn't work. But by putting this little heat box on top with an outlet there, and then the old blower from the forge, pushing the air, that pushes the air out into the room, and it made a huge difference to control that, because I can't have it running all the time. If I ever run it all the time, it'll be cool air blowing. So I need to have it run for a while and then stop and let that air get heated up and then run for a while. And instead of a thermostat and something crazy, I just went, it's a Harbor Freight purchase. It wasn't very expensive. It's a little timer that I have, and it has 15-minute intervals. So I went through and I set every 15 minutes on and off for the next 15 minutes. And that's what happens. The stove's running. Every 15 minutes, the fan kicks on. Cool, exchanges that hot air that I have in the box, and then shuts back off and lets it rebuild. It may be a hokey setup, but it was a quick and dirty fix, and it worked really well. So insulation, new siding. I mean, this may look like the old setup, but that is new tin, and behind there is 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches. I forget now what I used of insulation. The poly stuff or whatever it is, the board kind of stuff. And then just I love the view, of this layout, so I just rebuilt it so it looks like the original. Over the office, I mean, there was like a wind tunnel. I'm not sure where the air was coming from, but I closed that off and insulated. And if you look up here, guys, I mean, just the amount of work to squeeze in all of that expanding foam, to close off every nook and cranny. It's just, where the heck am I? Oh, there we are. I zoomed in too much. All the way around this place. It made a huge difference. One of the problems is this side of the wall is not insulated yet, so that's just plywood and some tin on the outside. So that certainly wasn't providing a whole lot of heat, but at the same time I don't want to lose the look of the wood there. Anyway, that was one of the objectives, and it's done. I don't think there's very much new to show you, except a lot of steel that I need to make things out of. And the TIG. I think that's relatively only the new stuff I have. And this is the blower that I use right now. And it's a Harbor Freight. I think it's probably $30 or something. I don't remember. And quite honestly, it produces a little too much air, so I kind of covered half of its intake. But just like I had the other one, it's wired right onto the switch, and that actually blows almost too much. To keep the anthracite going. And for those of you that are using anthracite, you got to have, or at least I have to have some airflow all the time to keep that forge lit. And then I use the hand crank, to get the extra air. So what I do to regulate that is in my ash clean out, if I don't need if let's say I'm going to walk away for an hour to finish something on the grinder or whatever it is I have to do, by opening that up, I reduce the amount of air going up to the actual forge, and that helps me regulate that. I think I added this winter too. If you haven't seen it, I added a propane forge for some of the longer things, and it's come in very handy when I have a small piece like a rivet or something that I need to get red hot. Instead of going into the forge and getting that going, I just throw it in here and use it. So that's Devil Forge, I think. Is it Devil? Something. I forgot now what the hell. I moved it up front. Yeah, Devil Forge. It wasn't cheap, but it works really well. I put the base on it. I don't know, guys. Some of you guys have seen this stuff, some of you haven't. I think that's it. Oh, my new lights. I got some new lights. LEDs. I'll tell you, those son of a guns, I got them at Lowe's. They're $50 a piece. They were on sale for 40, but they're not anymore, I don't think. I built a little, I call it the Star Trek frame up there. But those put out a nice light. All right, so that's the the shop. I mean, it's just filled. It's just I don't have a huge amount of space to work anymore. But in the corner, I don't know if you remember, but there was a doorway that went into the old facility, and right now that doorway leads to my new wood shop area, which this took a tremendous amount of work to close off. This is all an open area at one point in time, but this is now the wood shop area. It's not very big, and I do have some more room that actually is mine that I can expand out to, but just, you know, had to get it closed off, had to get it framed in. I'll tell you, tucking in these little nicks and crannies to try to get this thing semi-airtight, not airtight, but weather-tight, was quite a bit of work, but it's functional. It gives me a good place to work. I mean, you can see I got wood all over the place. What did I buy? I had to pick up a table saw, which I didn't have, a shitload of hand tools and things like that. I already had the cut-off saw, I already had the lathe, I had the sander and the drill press, the compressor. But I picked up a 12-inch planer, I picked up a joiner, I picked up some sanders, picked up a router table and a biscuit joiner. I picked up a bunch of tools and the bandsaw here. But this is the wood shop area, and as you see, I'm also messing around with some antiques. And if you take a look on my Facebook page, Anvil Ringer or Old School Forge, you'll see some of the things that I'm doing with those, just to expand out. There's one of the pieces that I cut on the bandsaw mill, which I'll walk you out there to see that really pretty old barn beams that I've been cutting. But so it's not a huge area, but it gives me enough space to work. And since we're here, we'll go out. I'll show you the sawmill. This is the rest of the facility up here. Well, part of the facility. But out here in this semi-unprotected area, freaking cold, man. There's the sawmill that I bought. And believe it or not, it's a Harbor Freight item. I have a video on the initial run of it. I've run it a few times. I got some lumber stacked up over there. And again, at this point, I'm just cutting up some barn beams that I have access to reclaim the old lumber and to work on things like fireplace mantle, stuff like that. I'll do another review or a few more videos on the sawmill. Works pretty good, but that's that. See, Chandler's been spending money. I haven't been making a whole lot of money, but I've been spending it like I got it. No longer do I got it. So we need to get our ass to gear. Don't even ask you about the motorcycles. They ain't mine. All right, back to the wood shop. Pretty darn cool. So that's right off the main shop. So when I'm working on a knife, no longer am I working on the handle out here. If I'm working on a bench or a table or something like that, steel work's done out here and the woodwork's done in there. If I'm refinishing something, that's how it's going. So you guys dizzy yet? And again, walking into the office, I mean, it looks almost professional-ish, kind of, maybe. Anyway. All right, let me set you back up. We'll say goodbye. Get cold. Anyway, so you may look at that and say, what a loser. There's not a whole lot to achieve in the several months that it's been since you've talked to me. But remember, I've spent at least 2 of those months sitting in chairs. Or a chair. Freezing in the cold. I guess that's it. I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I'm not 100% back. Depression is not a funny thing. And when you've gone through it over and over and over and over and over again and been shit on and spit on and kicked in the teeth, which a lot of you guys have, yeah, it builds up eventually. But I'm still here, and I'm still swinging the hammer, and cutting with the saw, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I have some aspirations, some plans. I just don't have a purpose. I don't have a long-term plan, but we'll work it out. What else we got? Did I forget anything? I don't think so. Again, guys, for those of you that I've disappointed, I'm sorry. I really am. But, and I have no guarantees right now. I don't have any guarantees. I know that if things go back to kind of how they were, I could make enough money to live. And that's pretty exciting for me. And now I have, with what I've done over the last couple of months, many other avenues. I've made some contacts. I've got my foot in the door in a few other areas. So I really think I'm gonna be able to pull this off. My head, as far as where I am mentally, it's okay. I think I can show up and work now. I mean, it's odd. I don't understand it. But I mean, back in December, January, I'd show up and I'd be like, man, I don't want to sit anymore. I'm just gonna work, and I'd get up to work, and it would just, something would come over me, and fuck, and I'd go sit down again. I mean, I'd actually be in the middle of something and just lose it. So mentally, I'm much stronger, and which is very odd for me to say, because I'm not a weak person. Really, I'm not, guys. I'm not the. I don't want to use the P word, but that's really what it feels like. I mean, what a giant T. Here I am. And I'll be here tomorrow. And the snow will be here tomorrow. But it's going to go away someday. We've had like 70s and 60s for a long time. And now it's cold again. And it's like hitting me, making me depressed. This is probably the worst Forgeside chat you ever did have. And for those of you that have... let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about the slammers. First of all, the support... honestly, guys, and some of my stuff was exposed on Facebook. I mean, it was I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but a lot of you guys could see what was going on. I wasn't quiet on Facebook in some cases. I mean, shit was really tough. And it was just freaking amazing that of all the people that I knew and know and people that are in my world right now and have in the past, it was just unbelievable the amount of support that I got through YouTube or Facebook from strangers like you guys. And the comments, the constructive criticisms, all of those things, hugely got me through what I was going through and is getting me through it. But just means a lot. I mean, it puts some value. I mean, that's one of the things I've searched for. What is my value? What's my purpose in the future? A lot of you guys have had reinforced some of that stuff. But few of you bastards. What the hell? Really? I think I've lost a whole lot of tolerance, and like, doesn't do any good to fight back. I mean, these guys, they're hiding behind their keyboard and they're sitting on their couch and all that kind of stuff. Well, man, some of you guys have really pissed me off, and I don't know if I'm going to hold back. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do, because I've gotten a couple of comments about Forge and Fire. Now, I've got hundreds of comments about, hey, you should go on there. And I'm not a bladesmith. I mean, I'm a blacksmith. I make knives, but I'm not a bladesmith. And to add that kind of stuff to my world up until now, I was like, no, it's just not even an option. But for whoever the hell it was, I don't even look at your name when you do it. The freak, he was slamming me for some of my videos. I was doing knives and, hey, let's see if we can do this in 2 hours. Let's see if we can do this in 3 hours, like the Forge and Fire. A couple of them I even did tests and stuff like that. Well, somebody slammed me. It was the goddamn cable knife. The cable knife with the ram's head on the end, it turned out freaking beautiful. He's like, the quality of this is what it is. It's like, dude, what are you worried about speed? You worry about quality? I said, damn, that's a freaking nice knife. That turned out awesome. The welding was beautiful. The pattern was beautiful. The edge was beautiful. The ram was beautiful. I don't know where the freak the moron got that comment from. But he turned around and said, if you were on Forge and Fire, you'd be gone in the first goddamn, whatever they call it, challenge. Fuck you. I'm sorry for the young guys, but normally I just laugh that stuff off, but man, and then there was a few other ones. So hopefully I'll get my tolerance back. But I'll tell you what, I'm honestly thinking of maybe looking into trying the show. Do I think I'll win? That's not why I would do it. I wouldn't do it to win, but I'll tell you that $10,000 would sure come in handy. I would do it. I would do it for all of us, all of you guys, and the team of you and us that are trying to do this with nothing. Now, I'm not on nothing anymore. I mean, I got a lot of tools. I got a lot of equipment out there. I'm not just the backyard freaking blacksmith that I was just less than a year ago, right? But in reality, I am. I mean, I got a lot of, most of the shit I got, I made, right? Most of the shit I got, I sold stuff and bought. I would do it because I love to see what it's like. I do it to challenge myself, and I do it so that those of you guys that are just starting out, you don't have to have a lot of experience and a lot of tools to make some beautiful things. One guy said, what the hell he said? Here's another one, F you too, whoever the hell it was. I don't even know if it was a compliment or if he was slamming me. I don't know for sure. But my mental state doesn't allow me to say, walk away, turn the other cheek kind of thing. He said, this is a good testament of what persistence and brute strength can compensate for skill and intelligence. I think it's a slam. Fuck you. Skill and intelligence. Jeez Louise. I never claimed to be extremely skillful, but don't fucking call me unintelligent, because I'm not stupid, you dumbass. Sorry, guys. So I didn't know what tungsten carbide was. Under heat. You know what? I don't know. It's just funny, man. Just to make statements like that, I just think it's freaky. Am I supposed to know everything before I start sharing anything? Oh boy, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna stop now. I owe you guys months and months of Forgeside chats. Hopefully, for those of you that enjoy the story, hopefully I haven't acted like too much of an asshole in this video. And it's something worth watching. Hopefully it's not going to be an hour long. I don't know how long I've been talking, but it's just the way it is. That's my new catchphrase. All right, you don't hear me say that in the videos very often. Ain't too snabby. That's one that I say a lot. Ain't horrible. But sometimes, I tell you what, here's my advice to any of you guys that are having a hard time. I almost don't want to say it because you want to kick somebody in the teeth when you hear it. But think about the fact that things could always be worse. Though I'm not saying that I'm not telling you that, because that's like, fuck you when somebody tells you something like that. But in your own mind, quietly, just keep those words in the back of your head, because it don't really matter if it's going to be worse tomorrow when you're feeling pretty damn low today. But in addition to that, it is what it is. And, just when things are like crap and you want to, especially when you're dealing with people that are freaking making a mistake, or people that aren't helping you, it's hard to deal with them sometimes. It is what it is. What you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? If it ain't what it ain't, then turn around and change it. Some things you can change, some things you can't. And when those days when you just don't have I don't mean to swear so much in this video, but when you don't have the energy to pull yourself out of that chair, you know what? If you're not hurting your children or hurting somebody in the process, and I don't mean physically, but I mean if life is at least giving you that opportunity to sit there for a day or two, you should be grateful. I'm certainly grateful that I was able to sit for that time, and still, I had some money saved up. sit there and take the time that you need, and in the end, it is what it is until it is what you change it to be. That's kind of where I am right now. Every day. I probably say it 10 times. I can't deal with that right now. It is what it is. And then sometimes what I said it is what it is yesterday ain't the same today because I decided to change it. So, I don't know what kind of advice that is, but thanks, Dad. God damn it. Alright, children, let's get our ass back to work. I got some reviews I'm going to do on the welders that I have. I think some of you guys have asked for that. I got some S7 I've never worked with. We got that to mess with. I picked up some decent steel for some Damascus style knives. And I got orders and shows and horseshoe hearts and ram's heads, and I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm going to show up tomorrow and I'm going to do something. I'm going to make something. And then the next day I'm going to make something. The next day I'm going to make something. And that's all there is to it. And I hope to keep you guys coming along on the journey. I really would like on the video side of town to go back a little bit because one thing I don't want people to see, to think is, oh, he's in this huge shop. He's in this shop. And that's not me, I don't want you to say, oh, that's not me. I don't have a shop. I'm out on a tree stump in the backyard. So I'd like to kind of to back up a little bit and maybe do some, one thing I'd like to do is maybe pick, one day, just get in the car with a lot of cards for the video camera and just drive around and see what I can do in one day. Scrap yards, flea market, whatever it is that I happen to come across, to pick up materials and see if I can forge something, starting with absolutely nothing. Drive around, find some charcoal, find this, find that, find something to hammer, and see if I can go ahead and make something. I think that would be a cool video. I mean, those are the kind of things that I'm thinking of, just to make things entertainable. I like that. Entertainable. You're entertained, but to also show you that these things are attainable. I like that. I like that term. It's an entertainable thing. All right, had enough of me? Thank you all for your views. I think I just broke 9 million views. And as of this morning, I think I'm just a few, I don't remember now, 100 or a couple of thousand subscribers from 100,000. A freaking blacksmith. Well, somebody who pretends to be one anyway. It's freaking amazing. Thank you. Spread the word. Do what you can to support me on YouTube from a financial perspective. Share my videos, click on the ads. Oh yeah, one last thing. Forget about it. We'll talk about it another day. Thank you. Sorry for the P content of this, but I'm human, and I'll tell you again, and I don't even hesitate or I don't even feel bad saying it. It is what it is. And tomorrow it's going to be what I make it. We'll catch you tomorrow. Ciao.